3, 2, 1, crinkle, clap. It's Sunday, papers, so get your act together, neighbors, and face the fact. It's Sunday, papers with Greg and Mike. I know what I like. It's
3, 2, 1.
Read all about it. Read all about it. Sunday papers flopping on your patio. Dogs grabbing it. Little slobber on the front page. Doesn't matter.
We got to watch what we say. We got to watch what we say today.
Be very careful. They're coming for us. First, they come for the comedians. Is that how the poem went?
You know, yeah. South Park didn't make their deadline, I guess. Is that what it was?
2 weeks in a row.
Here's my weird thing, right? Of all times I wanted to see South Park, and also like almost in the moment because of the week's news, it's forget, they're like, oh, they didn't make their airtime. There are no more airtimes.
Exactly.
Go up any hour of any day. Just put it up. What are you, Comedy Central?
Out.
No one. My daughters couldn't even begin a search to find Comedy Central,
right?
And they watch a ton of funny stuff.
Yes, and it's about the clips. It's not about the episode going up. They could have literally just put out. They could have put out 3 2-minute clips, and called it a week.
Sophie
Very
called
strange.
me. Yeah, Sophie called me Sunday, right? Because the Emmys were Sunday. Dad, hey, I want to watch. How do I find CBS?
Yeah.
No idea.
My daughter called me and she said, Dad, where's our television set? Not where's the remote, where's the screen?
That's incredible.
Yeah. So we're obviously at this time, and this show, again, we have lost so many listeners because of what people call our libtard views, even though we really don't. I don't think we talk politics that much in terms of partisanship.
No,
but the little
they're
bit
incredibly sensitive.
I think
is.
We're very restrained and they're very sensitive. But that's what it's come down to. You know, it's like which people are just always trying to identify what side. I went out to dinner last night with my friend Jenna from college. I met her the first day of school. She was at the first stand-up comedy show I did in my life, my freshman year.
Wow.
She was in the audience with Dan Brickner. And it was the day that it was in January, Super Bowl Sunday. Literally, I performed my first time on the night that the New England Patriots got beat so bad by the Bears. It might have been a record for the worst loss in Super Bowl history.
The fridge ran in for a touchdown, and Peyton did not.
Yep, and so it was an angry, rowdy crowd, but I had a bunch of beef. Anyway, we went out to dinner, and you quickly figure out what side they're on, because she grew up wealthy, and they have a lot of money, and they're country club people. And so I was aware of that. But, we got through a whole dinner without politics sort of brushed against us a couple times, and we just kind of moved away from it. But it made me realize, like, in the past, you would have gotten into it a little bit and had a healthy discussion and maybe laughed and moved on. And now it's like this barrier that you don't even go near anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It's nuts. Someone brought up a good example of, like, just to highlight, because you forget, because we're in this Trump world now. You forget, you lose a little perspective. But someone brought up, and I'm going to forget the exact example, but if the Biden administration, 3 years ago, if someone on the left died, I don't know who that would be. Maybe Jimmy Carter or whatever it is. I don't know. And if anyone made a joke about it, and Kimmel didn't even really make a joke. We'll get to that. And then Biden shut them down. Biden shut down the show. And literally spent all his time, while there's a war, multiple wars going on, Biden spent his time attacking ABC.
Right, right.
It's
well, the one thing I
insane.
will say is, during the pandemic, a lot of people were kicked off of social media. They were kicked off of Twitter, and that to me did not sit well. I felt like this is a marketplace of ideas. There's some are going to be untrue, but to call it misinformation and ban people for that set the stage for this kind of thing, and it puts Democrats on not great footing because we did the same thing, 5 years ago.
Why are you saying Democrats did that?
Well, at the time, I think that the social media companies stood very much with the left. I think that, you got to remember, Elon Musk was a fucking liberal 5 years ago. He just jumped on board because this is who's in power. And I think that a lot of Silicon Valley, with their, donating money to the environment, and, you got to remember, Tesla was originally about clean energy.
Right. Well, listen, they're all whores. So it's whoever's in power they're kowtowing to.
Right.
That's the problem.
But it hit me hard though, man, seeing somebody who does what we do, that does comedy, being canceled for it, and their livelihood being taken away is fucking scary. I saw it with Colbert. You saw it with him. Not to mention all the news outlets that are being shut down. CBS News and PBS and NPR. And, what's your take on PBS and NPR being shut down? Because obviously they do skew very left, and the government is paying for that. So there is a question about partisanship with government money there, isn't there?
Yeah, I'd like to see a study of like what skews left means. I'm not denying they skew left, but there are certain things. Like, it's hard, like, Trump isn't typical right, you know what I mean? But, like, a journalist wants to go after the truth. So who is a journalist who's truly, even if it was like literally a robot journalist, who just sought the truth? That robot would have way more problems with the right the last 12 years. I mean, that's just a fact.
Right. If you want to talk about facts, we're talking about NPR is committed to science. The things that came up during the pandemic were science-based. The things that came up about the 2020 election were science-based.
But generally, if you're saying like things like more pro-environment, I would say obviously NPR is more pro-environment. I don't know if NPR is more. I'm guessing they're more pro-choice. Maybe they could defend themselves saying yes because that's that's what the law of the land was till it was just changed.
Well, they're absolutely DEI. I think it's all diversity. I always laugh about the names of the fucking broadcasters on NPR. It's like, and now Lakshmi Singh is going to turn it over to fucking...
Yeah, I know. But I don't know. Isn't there a way of looking at it that maybe there are issues in the world and NPR just looks at those issues, and so does the Republicans, and so do the Democrats, and they choose which side they're on? Like, do you think it's maybe that first rather than, hey, we're with the Democrats, so we look at these issues this way?
I think that they've always given a voice to the right. They will interview people on the right, I think, as much as people on the left. I think they've got very intelligent professional. I mean, look, journalism has certain criteria. You're supposed to not inflect your own views into a story, and I think that they do that. I mean, you listen to Michael Barbaro on The Daily. He just simply asks questions. He doesn't interject his opinion on things.
Right.
But
I don't know if in terms of what you're saying, the original question, a state-run or state-funded journalist, like stations and publications, I imagine, it gets trickier now that the state is less it's more partisan. So I don't know. I'm in over my head, clearly. I can't even answer it.
What else is going on? How was the Emmys? You were the head writer on the Emmys last week, and a lot of people were raving about the writing. They loved that $100,000. I think I would personally. I think they beat it a little hard by the end.
Yes, I agree.
Became a little bit of a distraction. I think it was a great premise, and I think that I would have liked to see Nate do more stand-up instead of just relying on that one device.
Yeah, so Nate he's awesome, but he right before it, he really reading prompter and reading jokes is not Nate's thing. And any fan of Nate could tell you that. And so we did it. Also, he kept his Denver dates. I think we talked about this last week.
It's where I am right now. Yeah, they're still talking about him here.
He left rehearsal at 2 p.m. on Friday, did a show in Denver Friday night, did 2 shows in Denver Saturday. The Emmys are Sunday.
Yeah.
And then he flew back late Saturday night. So anyway, but after the dress rehearsal on Sunday, he then asked me to take a lot of words out of prompter. I'm like, yeah. I go, he goes, it's just leave in like ad lib about, whatever topic where there was a joke written, right? And I go, well, what about just leaving the words in and ignoring the prompter? Because there's no way to tell how it'll really feel when you walk out there and then all these people are staring at you.
Right.
And no, we took it out. So in my opinion, that hurt delivery a little, and also some key words were missed now and then. But he likes being Nate. And you can't flaw him for that.
No, it came across very organic. It came across like he was. I think he did capture his voice, on stage. I would just like to see more of it. I would like to see, how long was that opening monologue?
Oh no, we were only given when he came back. We were given 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's
because
not
the
enough.
sketch took up the time.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
we had a ton. We had a ton of jokes.
Cold Open was great. The history of television was really smart, very well executed. All the jokes were strong. I kept waiting for it to fade, because it is like an SNL sketch, and I kept waiting for it to be that redundant thing where you go like, all right, I get it, but I thought each new beat kind of like elevated. It was good.
Yeah, no, and we had a lot more jokes. I mean, we had one that we used as the example when we were talking about the bit, which was there'll be and I had a joke about the watching TV on apps, but basically Paramount Plus what, sir? Nothing. That's kind of how we sold a bit. Right. I had a joke. My favorite personally of mine was that he's in the part where he's talking about streamers to these people, he's like, well, we have so many, he's like, so there must be so many channels. He's like, there'll be none eventually. He's like, well, what do people watch? He's like, apps. And he's like, what's an app? And he goes, it's an application. He's like, so people watch applications. He's like, what? No one says it like that. He sounds stupid. But, so anyway.
Dude, the highlight of the Emmys, without a doubt. Well, first of all, Brad Garrett fucking killed. But my other favorite part was the woman who was presenting for Best Director in a limited series. And she made, first of all, she comes out and tells everybody her resume. I can't remember who the woman was. And she's like, I was on this show, I was on, so if you don't recognize me, you shouldn't be here right now. And then she goes, so for Best Director, and she names the names, and she goes, if you're not counting, that's 5 women directors nominated. Crowd goes wild. She goes, it's finally happened. Crowd goes wild. Reads the winner. It's the one guy. Me and Mikey Fitzgibbons stood up and started, we were at Gibbons' house watching it, and Erin was there, and a couple other people. And I almost fell down on the ground. I was laughing so hard. It was just so fucking poorly thought out. He was the front runner by far.
How
do you not see that coming?
I mean, it would have been a crime if he didn't win. Yeah, come on in. That would have been a crime if he didn't win. And Yeah, it was Elizabeth Banks, by the way. She's great.
She's great, but that was a weird way to set herself up. Like, there was no
she
jokes
should have
to it.
Never. They should have all told her, like, whoa, here's what you need to know. Odds, tremendous odds are the guy's going to win. So
Yes.
now how do you want to handle it?
Right. Yeah, that was
I
funny.
mean,
Jesus Christ.
that was great. By the way, I did not see that moment. We were like huddled backstage, either adding up the minutes. We had to keep an eye on the minutes, how many people ran and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I didn't even see that when it happened. That was amazing.
Why don't we go through right now? I had you make predictions.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So-
boy, I think I was wrong on there were a lot of upsets.
Yeah, best series, you said it was going to be Severance, and in fact, it was...
Oh, yeah.
it was
The new ER with the same actor.
Yeah. Right.
Pitt.
The Pitt one. You said Hacks. It was not Hacks. For best comedy, it wasn't The Bear. Oh, it was the Studio.
Yeah, The Studio. Of course. And why did I underestimate The Room? If there's a show about the voters, they're going to vote for it.
You guessed Adolescence correct. You guessed Seth Rogen for best actor correct. You guessed Stephen Graham for best actor correct.
Yeah.
So not bad.
Yeah. Well, What We Do in the Shadows is the funniest show of those ones. That's what really should.
Oh, I've never seen it. Is it good?
What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah.
Dude, it is so funny.
I just hate vampire shows.
It's just they might as well be mechanics. It's just set in that time. It doesn't matter. It's about all these roommates.
Yeah.
Did you see the movie What We Do in the Shadows?
No.
Start there.
Really?
Because it's like he never does the dishes. Like he's just given an interview. He's like 1,100 years old. He talks about history. He's been with like Napoleon. Like, it's a vampire and all this. But the fight is that the new vampire in the house doesn't do the dishes. It's so funny.
All right, it's on the list.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get to this week's logo. Is it's the man who stole a hat from the child who got it from the player. A couple weeks old, but we did get a Charlie Kirk one.
It's better than the Charlie Kirk comic, which was very good. Thank you for sending it.
Yes, thanks for sending it, but we felt like it might be
I just don't
poor
believe
taste.
he's in heaven, so I didn't buy into the premise.
The song this week is from Joshua Gershenson. Excellent. He said that he thinks that we're about to narrow in on a permanent song, so he wanted to get this in so it would be in the running. So, okay, Joshua, I'm not saying we are doing that, but if we were, it would definitely be in the running.
Yes.
Corrections. Bob Pedersen, who is our continuity Nazi. He is the guy that captures little mistakes. By the way, my wife is a continuity Nazi, and watching TV with her is like, she'll be like, wait, pause it, rewind. That guy had on a gold watch, and now from the different angle, it looks like it's silver watch. And I just look at her like, oh, I forgot to tell you, it's all pretend.
She better, where they get them. In the old movies and stuff, it was cigarettes was the big one.
Oh, yeah.
But anytime there's a scene where they're drinking wine or water, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, or the other thing I love is, like, without a doubt, when they give somebody a paper cup of coffee, it's fucking empty. They hand them a full cup, and they're waving it around with no weight in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
So anyway, Bob said drowning is not a word. DROWNDING. I don't know if I said drowning. I think I do say drowning. How do you say it?
I think that's you. I say drowning.
Yeah, I say drowning.
I like drowning.
Yeah. Mark Russell.
It's occurring to me it was a busy news week. I'm now flooded with thoughts of Robert Redford. It was a weird week for people of our age.
Yes.
Very disorienting. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Mark Russell wrote in, Caesar was assassinated in 44 BC. He adopted his grandnephew Octavian, a.k.a. Augustus, a.k.a. Caesar Augustus, posthumously in his will who officially became emperor from 27 BC to 14 AD. The way I always remember Augustus' reign is that he was emperor in year 0. So Caesar was assassinated before Jesus. All right, so I guess the Caesar, like when you think about like people that use different monikers, you know, like the roast master was way back when was Milton Berle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it became Lisa Lampanelli. And then it became Jeff Ross. So really, the original roast master, so the real Caesar, was 44 BC.
All right.
Down to tour dates. I'm going to be in Connecticut this weekend at Comics, September 26th and 27th. Fairbanks, Alaska at a few different theaters, October 1st through the 4th. Vegas at Brad Garrett's, October 13th through 19th. LA, we just announced the Best Buddies benefit at the Comedy Store, October 30th. It's going to be a lot of big-name comics. Get your tickets now. Chicago at the Den Theater. Lafayette, Louisiana, just announced this week. New Orleans at Skankfest in November. San Francisco Punchline, December 11th through 13th. Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey at Bananas, December 26th and 27th. Fitzdog.com to get tickets. Front page, can we get a crinkle, Mike Gibbons?
Here we go. Yeah. Sure. Here's a Trader Joe's. Yeah.
Wow.
That was strong.
Oh, shameful to be a West Sider in L.A. and have a paper Trader Joe's bag. You didn't bring your cloth bag to Trader Joe's?
I know. And look at me, though. I'm reusing it. There's stuff in it. Oh, wait, there's paper in it. I didn't have to. Look, I have paper.
And you're
reusing, reuse. Jimmy Kimmel. All right, so we kind of covered this, but during his Monday show, he criticized how President Trump and some Republicans were responding to the fatal shooting. FCC Brendan Carr suggested during his podcast appearance 2 days later that the FCC should take action against. So here is what happened behind the scenes, which is public. I mean, I think this is in the New York Times. So advertisers and affiliates soon called the network expressing concern about Kimmel's show. Executives at Sinclair and Nexstar, who are owners of more than 60 local ABC stations, told the network leaders after Carr's remarks that they would indefinitely preempt the shows starting that night. So for people that don't understand that, ABC is the company that makes Jimmy Kimmel, but then it goes out and it goes, say, to Cleveland. And Cleveland, ABC there is an affiliate. So it's a local ABC. That's one way to look at it. So Sinclair and Nexstar own 60 of these local ABCs. So Kimmel had planned to address Carr's comments on his show Wednesday night, according to people familiar with the matter. Before his on-air appearance, Dana Walden, co-chairman of Disney, spoke to the host. So now it's back to corporate in Los Angeles, and Jimmy's boss, Dana Walden, sits down with him. After the conversation, she and other senior executives thought that the star's approach could make the situation worse. People familiar with their conversation told the press. Executives also discussed staff safety, including threatening emails on Kimmel's show. The Kimmel show had received after Carr's remarks, and some had posted the personal information like home addresses of Kimmel's staff. Walden huddled with her team and Disney chief executive Bob Iger before the two executives decided to temporarily take Jimmy Kimmel Live off the air. Now, one thing I forgot to explain, even if they let him go on that night, he would not have appeared on at least 60 ABCs. So odds are probably in your city, because I think they own, those two companies own some of the bigger markets. So here's what Jimmy said. Everyone, including Tim Dillon, I just saw him do a thing defending Kimmel. And in his defense of Kimmel, he's like, yeah, so he said the kid was MAGA and comes from a real MAGA family, and, and he was wrong about saying that about the kid. Kimmel did no such thing. In fact, I think this is a perfectly worded sentence that Kimmel said. He goes, we hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them. That is flat out true. By the way, the same could be said about the left.
Right.
Both were desperately trying to paint this kid as the left was trying to paint him as MAGA and the right was trying to paint him as something other
And they
than
were
MAGA.
all grabbing snippets online about, fucking Photoshop T-shirts of him with a MAGA shirt on. And, both sides were rushing to get this information out. And Patel even made a statement before we knew the facts. It's like nobody cares about truth. They just care about speeding it to press.
Right. So nothing he said. And then he criticized the president accurately. In between finger pointing, there was grieving, Kimmel said, of President Trump's grieving process for Kirk, which he said was akin to, quote, how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. Did you see his first comments? I think it was about Kirk, or the first when he came out of a helicopter.
Yeah.
And he immediately started talking about the new ballroom construction.
How are you feeling about Charlie Kirk's death? He goes, I feel good. The patio's coming in. And then he was at the Yankees game the night Charlie Kirk died doing the YMCA dance. They played YMCA, and he's got his fingers up in the air, and he's dancing around. That's disrespectful.
Well, let's see. I mean, politicians were assassinated in their home, and he was playing golf during their service.
Yeah. So anyway, the first thing I thought of was that old that song from the 60s, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised."
Yeah.
But I was thinking about that song, and what that song was saying wasn't that they're going to take it off TV. It's that we shouldn't be watching TV to support a revolution. You should be in the streets doing something about it. And so I think the message might be coming out of this is stop sitting on your couches and being in chat rooms. Get out and protest. Use your voice. And I'm not talking about right or left. I'm talking about the First Amendment. I'm talking about whether or not you agree with what Kimmel said, whether or not you supported Charlie Kirk. It is a time which is very dangerous, where the government is dictating who can say what in the media. That is a slope that you will slip down and not come back from.
No, and I mean, what happened to Kirk is insane and so un-American. And all the focus should be you shut that down. You get whoever couldn't tolerate words and kill the person for it. You get that person and they go to jail forever. Right. Or maybe they're killed. That's what Utah's deciding. And we'll get into whether all the fishy circumstances about the guy in a minute, because the worst is the right are the exact wrong people not to have a neatly tied bow on a story. If there's anything that kind of doesn't make sense, they love the conspiracy theories of it all. So we'll get to that in a minute. But this was my thought this week. I really hoped people were going to stop saying Kimmel, because that's just one. I mean, he's the example. But as you're pointing out, it's the huger issue of First Amendment. Also, it wasn't even the biggest news this week for me out of the White House. It was declaring Antifa a terrorist organization. And I don't know if people fully understand the ramifications. If he is allowed to do that, that means he literally can lock up anyone he wants.
He can call the ACLU a terrorist organization. He can call any Democratic leading group can be declared criminals and shut down and arrested and silenced. And
you don't even have to be Antifa. You could be viewed in the president's mind of aiding and abetting Antifa. So
meanwhile,
if you're a publication that he deems sympathetic, you're done.
Right. And then you got, and how is it that Kimmel is picked out in the same week that the Fox News host Brian Kilmeade came under fire after he suggested on air that mentally ill homeless people should be given involuntary lethal ejections and just kill them? That was on Fox and Friends. How is that not condemned? How is that show not taken off the air? That is way more specifically threatening to human life than anything that Kimmel said.
Oh, it's the double standard. Again, a politician's assassinated in their home. Our whole country, it's kind of like police. When a cop is killed, everything stops.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. And regardless of what you think about the police, like, let's get into the details of that. But that line is drawn and should be drawn. And then if there's problems with police, which there are, you got to really work on that. But there's a better example probably than killing a cop, but that's the one that comes to mind. I'm sorry, you assassinate an American politician in their house, done. Everything stops. That gets talked about. The president's there drawing attention to it. And of course, nothing, because it happened to be a Democratic politician.
Right. Well, unless the cops killed or done during the January 6th riots, in which case their lives don't mean very much.
Oh, man. So
and don't,
anyway.
And don't write in and say no cops were killed during... They died in the aftermath of January 6th. But look, the bottom line is Trump, Vance, Kirk, all they screamed about was freedom of speech in the media. This was the crux of their fucking getting elected. And now it's just so hypocritical. Anyway,
there must be a lot, and you probably we don't have to speak to it, but there must be a lot of pressure on Joe Rogan right now. I haven't seen if he's said anything yet. I saw Segura came out.
What did he say?
Segura had a picture with Jimmy Kimmel and just said how wrong it is and all that, but it wasn't much. So I don't know. Like, I haven't heard any of the real champions of free speech in the podcast world. I haven't heard much yet. So I'm just wondering, but there's pressure on them.
I saw Andrew Schultz put something up that was one of these like things where you split it, and he goes, "It's wrong when somebody is killed for speaking their mind, and it's also wrong when people are thrown off the air." It's like, what do you just save your fucking keystrokes? What are you saying? What are you even saying? All these people want to split the difference on this shit.
Save your keystrokes. All right, wait. Let's get a new story. Here we go. I was with Tom O'Neill last night. He proudly showed me how Chaos is back on the bestseller list because conspiracy theories are just on fire right now.
I love it. Chaos is back.
Candace Owens, who is the biggest, I would say the biggest publicist for Tom's book, unwitting publicist for his book. And Tom has not, he's been asked, I don't know how much we could say. He has not gone on Candace Owens' podcast or whatever she does. And then her conspiracy theory, I think what she's fanning flames of is that Charlie Kirk might have been taken out because he started to go anti-Israel. Do I have that right?
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, no, that's the big one.
Yeah, I just can't believe you're quoting her. I mean, Jesus
No.
Christ.
She's talking about what thousands are talking about.
Okay.
That, and what happens is you have Kash Patel, who is a dumb child. He literally has the effectiveness of a dumb child, and he comes across that way. He is the wrong guy. So what happens is like, boy, just please make this like an open and shut case against the killer, the guy who allegedly shot Kirk. It's like, make that clean so no one spins wheels on it, please. It is the most untidy situation ever. Have you seen the footage of the guy getting off the roof?
No.
Oh, dude, he did. I mean, I think I can say with certainty, he did not leave the roof with the gun.
Okay.
And then on my feed eventually caught on to I'm entertaining these, and I bet it's the duration that I watch a clip. And I'm telling you, all these right-wing guys, one after the next, old military guys, were like, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble with you guys for saying this, but that boy did not come off the roof with the gun. One guy then even had a wooden cutout because he can't show a gun or his clip will be taken down. He had a wooden cutout of his gun, the exact length of the rifle he used, and he tried to show you that there's no way the guy jumped off the roof with it. And then another guy goes, so this is what you want us to believe, that he got up there. Now he goes, you need a tool to collapse that gun, like to take it and to fit it in a backpack. It wasn't in the backpack, but this is what you want us to believe. He shoots Charlie Kirk, right? In theory, this is the theory. And then in his mad rush, he takes out a tool. He undoes it. The guy talked about how many threads there are, like how fucking much you have to twist, whatever it is. Then you put it in your backpack. And now you're going to run. And you run off the roof. And then you run. And then you go. Now you are fleeing for your life. And what comes to your mind? I've got to change outfits. That's fairly believable if you have a really thought out plan. But how about this one? You know what I'm also going to do in my mad fucking rush? I'm going to reassemble the rifle. Let me get that tool again. Let me reassemble it, put it whole, now leave it in the woods. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, and then I guess there was a picture of his face, and the guy that was running away has a different lip than this guy, Tyler Robinson.
Yeah, I heard that they might have taken what photo they had of him and told AI to complete it. So, by the way, I'm not saying there might be explanations for everything.
Hey, look, man, after smoking a joint with Ross Broccoli in the cornfields of Nebraska, we went back to his apartment, and he convinced me through video clips that we did not walk on the moon. And I'm not lying when I say there's still a part of me that believes we did not walk on the moon. So you can always extrapolate some details and some alterations and sell people on anything. But I don't think we should dwell. Honestly, I think it's irresponsible to even dwell on this stuff right now.
No, I know. But my point is, it's not. All right, let's say it's not. It's what happened is what they're saying happened, right? They should recognize how unclean it is. They should be ahead of it, saying, like, kind of like the Zapruder film. Like, there are so many Charlie Kirk Zapruder films out right now about the angle of the bullet, and it went this way. And by the way, if they had used that rifle, there would have been blood all over the tent. Like, and so it's like, everyone's going to say that. If this is really what happened, get out in front of it. Like, say, I know many of you are saying this. That's patently false. This is why. Boom. That guy, we've already interviewed him. That guy with the hand signals, he was signaling this. Like, put it to rest. But I don't think they want to.
What happened after 9/11, the government was not forthcoming with details, especially about the Pentagon. And so, it left a giant gaping void for people to fill it in with conspiracy theories.
Oh, Building 7, Tower 7, or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I saw one come out this week, and I'm like, all right, now I have a ton of questions.
I know. So there's not a lot of alternative explanations, but there's a lot of sort of like, tearing down what has been told to
If
us
I had
through
full
the media.
access, I could debunk so many.
Yeah.
I'd be like, here literally is the guy who did the hand signals. I'm going to interview him now for you. What were those about? Walk us through it.
All right, let's get down to Starbucks. Starbucks workers in 3 states took legal action against the coffee giant Wednesday, saying it violated the law when it changed its dress code, but refused to reimburse employees who had to buy new clothes.
All right, so at this point in the story, I'm on the side of the workers. Continue.
Starbucks' new dress code requires all workers to wear a solid black shirt with long or short sleeves under their green aprons. Shirts may or may not have collars. They must cover the midriff and armpits. Now that I get, because here's a true story. I was in Alaska, Juneau, Alaska, and there was a woman making me a coffee. It was not a Starbucks, but it was a coffee shop. And she hit the steam, the steamer to steam the coffee, and it exploded, and it went all over her shirt, and it was burning her, and she ripped her shirt off, but she had no bra on, and then she covered her tits, and she ran in the back, and the guy at the register who was ringing me up looks me in the eye, and he goes, "That'll be an extra $3."
I mean, that's perfect. Perfect.
And I thought the funniest part of that joke is that he immediately quantified it. Like, her tits were $3.
And then you hear a scream from the back, which is not about. She's like, 3.
Well, for Alaska, they were pretty impressive, you know?
Yeah.
So the employees must wear khaki, black, or blue denim bottoms. The skirts can't be more than 4 inches above the knee. Socks and hosiery must be subdued. It prohibits employees from having face tattoos or more than one face piercing. Tongue piercings and theatrical makeup are also permitted. I thought that was the uniform. I don't trust somebody making my coffee that's not pierced up and tatted.
I mean, I was on the side of the employees till I heard just wear clothes, almost any clothes you could grab at your house.
Yeah.
This is what they've really said. A shirt and pants.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I mean, here's what I'm wondering is, okay, that's what they have to wear. Should they put their master's degrees up on the wall, the baristas?
Yeah.
Because that's the whole workforce now. People that can't get jobs. And the neck tattoo doesn't help that. The neck tattoo is like a resume for a job that only starts after 10 o'clock at night.
The neck tattoo is, I mean, I guess they can have that. Yeah, listen, the Yankees didn't let facial hair. Neck tattoo, I don't know. That seems like it could be a lawsuit. But maybe, I don't know, private company. I don't know the rules.
Yeah. Maybe we should have a dress code on Sunday papers.
Well, where am I going to get clothes?
I'm going to start wearing
my closet,
pants.
Listeners. Huh?
There you go. I'm going to start wearing pants.
Yeah, that would be good. All right, we moving on to what? Zuckerberg?
Let's do Zuckerberg.
I did not see this press conference, but now I want to.
Okay. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg unveiled a slew of new augmented reality glasses, including what he claimed to be the first AI glasses with high resolution. For $800, the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses feature a tiny screen that's viewable to the wearer. Okay, it's here. That and rocket backpacks that everybody's been waiting for. These are the two things we've been waiting for since like the 1950s. But it didn't take long for the company's MetaConnect 2025 keynote to descend into chaos. The social media's giants' demos repeatedly failed, leading to awkward stares, deafening silences, and muted laughter. According to Zuckerberg's vision of the near future, wearers of Meta's glasses can converse with an AI chatbot to tell them what they're looking at or how to do things like coaching on how to cook a dish. Quote, "Let's try it. It's not something I've made before," food content creator Jack Mancuso told Zuckerberg enthusiastically after the CEO challenged him to make a steak sauce with the help of a new feature called Live AI. Quote, "Can you help me create a Korean-inspired steak sauce?" Mancuso asked his glasses. "What do I do first?" Mancuso interjected after the robotic voice started making suggestions. "What do I do first?" the influencer repeated after several seconds of total silence. Quote, "You already combined the base ingredients," the AI told Mancuso, who was standing in front of an empty glass bowl that hadn't been touched yet. A separate attempt by Zuckerberg to make a video call with his glasses ended with him awkwardly trying to explain why it wasn't working. Quote, "This is, it happens. Let's try it again. I keep messing this up," he added. So funny.
This is what I want to see. I want to see Gordon Ramsay cook with these glasses on and absolutely scream at AI. Absolutely. I didn't make the sauce yet.
Yeah, right. So now anytime I see a geek wearing Ray-Bans, I know he's checking my credit score and hacking my phone for nude photos of my wife.
Well, who did it? Someone just did it at a concert. Someone almost like the Coldplay thing, but they were trying to make a point. They had footage. They literally put the camera out, and the crowd, the footage appeared behind the band on the big screen, and it identified the faces.
No.
Put up their names.
What?
Because that's where we are. No. And you don't need good footage. This was a dimly lit concert. So what I'm saying is, if you have so right now they're saying, hey, look, you can cook with it. But what's going to happen is walking down the street, you can see someone and just let your imagination run wild with, once your glasses identify their face, which can be from 40 feet away as you're approaching them, it could tell you if this, let's say it's a woman, if she's single, what she's worth, where she lives, any information you want.
Man, that is scary. I mean, I've thought about getting into stalking, but I just didn't want to do the legwork. So this is great.
This is, exactly.
Wow.
You could probably look at her closed-toed shoes, and it will show you an option where she has sandals on.
AI, make it purple nail polish.
Right.
Yes.
The other thing is, I think they already have versions of this, but it's amazing for a doctor to wear. You know what I mean? Like a doctor performing surgery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, that's the chef thing that they're trying to get at here is professions where it could help. A amateur mechanic, I want to go in and I have to replace something, or even something simple like the air filter. I would put the glasses on. It would tell me it would read what car.
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But how about this? One of them is you wear them while you're putting, and it tells you it reads the exact, the intricacies of the green, the slope, both ways, or whatever, all 360 ways, and then it'll tell you where to hit it.
The wind. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Speaking of ethical questions, let's do this week's ethical question.
Here we go. I got to admit, there weren't good ones, but I chose one. Okay, this is the old fable of the grasshopper and the ant. Here we go. Our island of some 3,000 residents is vulnerable to winter storms, major earthquakes, and ferry outages that could leave us on our own for 2 to 3 months. That's some ferry outage. A few of us have formed a disaster preparedness group. If the big quake hits, relief will focus on mainland population centers, and our county's emergency management department urges us to be prepared for over a month without help. We've been stockpiling food, water filters, and medical supplies. Recently, some members raised the issue of sharing. If neighbors came asking for food, the pressure to say yes would be immense in our close-knit community. We can't be the emergency food bank for everyone. Once word spread, our stores could be quickly drained, leaving us no better off than those who hadn't prepared. Yet ethically, could we let others suffer while hanging on to our supplies? They even did that in, what was the movie? It was hysterical. The end. It was about the end of the world. Michael Cera gets killed early on. Huh?
No. Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
And the end of the world starts in L.A., and then they have food, and they're not letting people in the house. Anyway, it is the old grasshopper and ant fable. So what do you think? Because I know, didn't you and Erin get a food preparedness bag?
We did. And we got it 15
good for
years
me to
ago.
know.
And now the flashlight's dead. The kids have eaten all the granola bars. And all
so
that's
you
left.
survived.
Yeah, even the flare gun, we shot it off on the 4th of July. So there's really nothing left in our bag. I would say if you want to live on an island, an island that's subjected to storms with 3,000 people on it, and you don't stock up on food, you're on your own, asshole. It's like, did you not see the writing on the wall? Did you not follow the guidance? People that stockpile their own shit also stockpile guns. That's the mindset of those people. So be one or perish on an island.
That's what someone, I forget who said, it was a comedian, I think, but he's like, yeah, especially in LA, he's like, yeah, I don't have to save water or food. I have a gun.
Exactly.
That'll get me all of that.
Yeah, right.
But in LA, so now take it to LA. Let's take it to you. You have a family, and then I've saved nothing. I could live for a while because my pantry's so filled with like canned stuff, but it only lasts so long. Water, yeah, I guess I have a valuable tool. I guess I could drink the pool water through the camping filter I have.
I think there's a quotient. To be more honest, I would probably say of the 100% of rations that I have, I'm going to keep 50% of them and expect 50% to be given away. And I would do it in a restrained fashion. I wouldn't give the 50% away right away. I would allocate small amounts to people over time. Because you're being their fucking parent. They're looking at you like a parent, like a provider. So I get to dictate the rules.
Right. I mean, it's very real in LA. We're basically like that island.
Yeah, we are.
Because an earthquake no new food's getting to the supermarkets for a while.
Do you have any kind of, besides your cans, do you have bottled water, anything? Or you just got the pool?
I mean, I just thought of that. But meanwhile, there's like 100 units here, so the pool would not be a highly original idea.
Yeah, we got a hot tub, but that's filled with, jizz, pubic
No, I have
hair
enough
and
water.
lubricant.
I bet I could stretch out water. I don't know how much water you need, but I bet I have a week. Because at any given time, I even have like those, lime carbonated, Whole Foods drinks, basically club soda. I could even fall back on those. We are on the westernmost
tip of Los Angeles. So we are at the end of every highway. We're at the fucking starting line of every highway in terms of getting into traffic. And
oh no, I know. Well, you've said you'd go the other way. You'd go out on the water.
Go out on the water. Go down to the marina, steal a boat, and just go out. Go out to Catalina Island.
I've got the motorcycle, so I have no issues.
Well, when I lived in New York, my plan was always, there's when I was a kid, we used to ride motorcycles underneath the power lines because the power lines always have a service road so that they can get to the fucking power lines. And they were perfect motorcycle paths. And I always thought that's the key. You just got to get on one of those and get out. You got to have a car that can handle that, like a good four-wheel drive car. We got the Subaru Legacy Outback.
I used to have to worry about putting two daughters on the motorcycle, but that worry's gone now.
You could have been like a Vietnamese family. Yeah.
Or a motorcycle in the circus with a lot of clowns hanging off of it.
Right.
All right.
Let's get to entertainment.
Here we go. We kind of covered a lot of this. I have not watched part 2 of the Sheen doc yet, but I am into it.
Did you watch Devo?
No.
Jesus Christ, we've been teasing this for a month now.
Okay, so I went
All you have to do, it's a 90-minute documentary.
90? All right, I'll watch it. I have to drive to the Valley after this. I'll watch it then.
In the car?
I always do that, but it's mostly
No, you don't. Do you really?
Wait, I watched most of Game of Thrones on my commute to Burbank for the job I had. No, and when the crazy scene would happen, I would then rewatch it. I no, obviously I didn't watch all of them like that, but most of it you don't understand. Most of it is like a radio play. Like, in other words, I just have to look down. I'm like, oh, this conversation is happening in the Queen's quarters. Now I just listen to it.
It's one of the most visual shows in history.
Also, I'm in traffic. You know how easy it is to watch TV while driving in L.A.?
I had an Uber driver once with his phone on the dashboard, and he was watching a Bollywood movie, and while driving, and I was gonna call and complain, but the movie was fucking great. Now I demand it of my drivers.
You have to complain after you get out.
Yeah, right. All right.
I give the driver 2 stars. The movie 5. Oh, but wait, hold on. I went on to watch the Devo doc. And they really pushed heavy on me. This catfish doc. Have you seen or heard about, it has catfish in the title, this catfish doc that's out about a girl being bullied? She's a high school girl.
No.
She's being bullied, cyberbullied, bullied online. Despicable. Okay, just see it. It's crazy.
Okay. So you watched that instead of the homework assignment, which was Devo.
And I fell asleep during it, so I woke up to quite a reveal in the doc, the catfish doc.
Also, you woke up to realize you'd crashed your car on the 405.
You see, that's why I only watch stuff during the day when I drive.
All right. Let's make America Florida.
All right, here we go now. Okay, a Florida man is accused of shooting at what he called a parasite roommate with an arrow. This is what I love. So deputies say a 69-year-old man led them to George Balboni, who was 61, who was lying in the front yard with a bloody face. Several arrows were found on or near Balboni. The victim stated that Balboni lured him to a vehicle on the property and tried to kill him by shooting him with an arrow, but missed. The victim suffered a minor cut to his ear from the arrow, like the president. And according to investigators, a fight ensued, and the victim took the crossbow from Balboni, hit him with it, knocking him to the ground. Balboni told investigators that he tried to kill the victim, whom he described as a parasite, and that he has no remorse. Deputies said the men told them they've been living together for several years and have a history of arguing. Balboni told reporters that he was angry with the victim because he went through his trash on Monday and found vodka, so he decided to kill him.
That's a zero tolerance policy right there.
But listen, this is your gun issue in a nutshell. Would less people be killed if there were no guns and you had to resort to crossbows or bow and arrows? Yes, less people would be killed.
Yeah. And also, when you're looking for a roommate on Facebook, always check that he is not an alcoholic archer. That's one of the categories you can look at.
Yeah.
You don't want to be roommates with Hager the Horrible.
This is a heartwarming Florida story. I like it.
Well, let's make America Kentucky.
Here we go. We're going to make America Kentucky. All right, man. This is a positive one. When people hear I'm a professional, well, here's the headline. Kentucky man becomes the first American to win World Stone Skimming Championship. We did not know about it either. When people hear I'm a professional stone skipper, there's like one of two responses I always get, John Jennings, the champion stone skipper, said. Either people are like, whoa, that's so cool. I never knew that was a thing. Or they're like, I bet I could skip further than you. And he spent most of his days playing in the creek, throwing rocks in the water. And I can't remember ever not being able to skip a stone. My uncle said, John, you got a gift in stone skipping. He was like, there's competitions out there. You need to find those competitions because you are going to win. Once Jennings found those competitions, the trophies were literally just a stone's throw away. I currently am the reigning Great Southern Stone Skipping Champion and also the World Stone Skipping Champion as well. You would think the second one would take care of the first one.
Sure.
The World Championship is the most recent addition, and he got it in Scotland. I'm the first American ever to win the World Championship, Jennings said of the event, which has happened. Okay, not only did I end up winning it, but my official cumulative score ended up being, and I left it blank, which is the record for that contest as well now. What do you think? So there's two ways to do it. Distance that your stone goes as it's skipping, and then there's how many skips.
Okay.
What do you think?
The number of skips, I would say, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to say 27 skips. And I'm going to say the distance would be 125 yards, which would probably be about 110 meters.
All right, I have to go back and find the yards. But I went in, so they didn't do skips with this guy. But I did find the stone skipping world record is 88 skips.
What did I say?
27.
Okay. Wow, that's impressive. Jesus.
All right. Now I found his, though. His winning distance was, where is it? 177 meters.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
so
like a 3-wood for me.
What do we think that is? 185 yards?
How many meters did you say?
177.
No, it's like 200 at least. 205.
2 yards. Looking it up on my Google machine.
I'm say 205.
193 and a half yards.
I knew it.
I was so close. Come on, I was so close.
All right. Well, listen, an American beating Scots in their own country. I'm surprised the guy wasn't stoned to death when he won. They don't like Americans right now. Imagine how hard it's going to be. Like, now that this is like a big sport, imagine how hard it's going to be to find flat, round stones next to ponds anywhere in the world.
They're all going to be in the middle of the
They're
lake.
going to be in the middle of the lake. They're going to be 200 yards out into the lake.
People are going to, archaeologists, way in the future, after we've we've had an extinction event, they're going to be like, we think these are tombs or they're like pyramids and they're in lakes. You can see all the flat stones. They chose flat stones because they can pile on top of each other really well.
Right.
And we think they might have been in unintelligent life back then.
Yeah. And, people talk about sea levels rising. What about pond levels rising as we pile all the rocks into the middle of them?
Kentucky has very few rivers left because of this guy.
All right, let's skip sports and come right down to international.
International, here we go.
Australia has approved the first vaccine to protect its shrinking koala population against chlamydia, a disease that accounts for as many as half of deaths in the wild among the country's iconic marsupials. Researchers spent 10 years developing the single-dose vaccine. R.F. Kennedy Jr. is already speaking out against it. There are 220,000 koalas left in Australia. It's been cut in half in 20 years. They're an endangered species there, and they say the vulnerability is from chlamydia, a sexually transmitted infection found in humans that can cause infertility and blindness. For me, it's the opposite. Chlamydia didn't make me go blind. I was blind drunk, so I couldn't see what kind of skanky girls I was having sex with.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Caused it.
Well, this is the thing. One thing that could be said is this is the slowest spread of chlamydia ever. Have you ever seen how fast a koala moves? Imagine if they were faster. They'd all be gone.
I know. Well, it's also, I think it's the furry phenomenon, of these people that go to conventions and they fuck people that are dressed as koalas. And now they're going for the real thing.
Yeah. I like your other one, the bottom one.
Might the solution be not letting Australian men go alone in the woods? That is our question for the day.
All right, so how did they get this?
I don't know.
Naturally forming chlamydia with koalas?
I don't know. I know I had it twice when I was a teenager. And the girl who gave it to me, I told her that we had it, and she blamed me. I didn't fucking have it. She gave it to me.
Oh, wow.
And then I got it in college, and I had to go to the health services, and this doctor who wore suspenders with piano keys on them, he was about 82 years old. I think that's the last stop for doctors is, college, where you're really only dealing with VD at colleges. And he took a Q-tip and he stuck it down my shaft.
Oh.
And I'm telling you, I have not ever felt pain like that in my life. And I was like, couldn't we have just given me the cycle of penicillin instead of sticking that in my dick?
Yeah, just remove all doubt.
Yeah. All right, let's get down to this day in history.
Here we go. All right. I think I have some more entertainment this time also. Let's see here. Okay. The first episode of Friends aired on NBC on this day in the fall schedule. In what year, Greg? Give or take 2 years.
1992.
You did it, sir. 1994.
Thank you.
The dramatic series The West Wing debuted on this day in what year? Give or take 3 years.
1988.
I would have guessed it's 99. I would have guessed earlier than 99 also.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's find some more here. Do you know how old is Bill Murray, Greg? He was born on this day in what year?
Well, he was on SNL in 1975.
Give or take 3 years.
He was on SNL in 1975. I believe he was probably 30 years old at that point. So I would say he was born in 1945.
You missed it, sir. 1950.
He was only 25 when he went on SNL?
I bet that's right.
Damn.
Green Day's American Idiot. We don't have to do that one. What else do we have?
I hate Green Day.
In the much publicized Battle of the Sexes, Billie Jean King defeated Bobby Riggs. This was a huge story when we were young. What year, give or take 2 years?
1976.
I love it. You missed it. 73.
Damn it.
All right. We're going to pull up. A lot of these are very similar. How about the first episode of Mary Tyler Moore? What year, give or take 3 years?
Mary Tyler Moore, Liberated Woman. It was a big show. It was color, multicam. I'm going to say 1974.
Oh, my God. I think I said give or take 3 years. 1970. You had it for a while. You were like 1970. You had it. Okay. ER. We're just going to do a lot of these. It's fall TV season. What year did ER debut on NBC? Give or take 3 years again.
1982.
So close. 94.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I like that new show, The Pit, by the way.
You have to go out. I know, but it's the right. I mean, it's the ER creator. It's the star of ER in a room.
Yeah. I never watched ER, so it's not.
And people criticize Nate's, shorting speeches, like, and now one reviewer, like the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, is like, and now the stars are thinking, oh my God, am I going to go over or under? Yeah, they should be thinking that. You not only have 45 seconds to give your speech. You were able to put everyone you wanted to thank in a lower third, in a chyron.
Right.
So put your lawyer, your manager, your agent, and all that, and then maybe say something moving. And then it's like, and this guy gets up there and say, also, we're watching a person who plays a doctor get an award and give a speech. What about a doctor?
Oh, my.
So stupid. All right, so here we go. Let me find. You're doing so horrible.
I think they should dictate how much time you get based on your personality. I think they should gauge it as you're walking up to the stage. Like if it's like for best director and the guy is from the Ukraine, 25 seconds. If it's Meryl Streep, 3.5 minutes.
Right. No clock for her.
No.
All right, I'm trying to find one for you because you've done horribly.
All right, give me an easy one.
You're not going to get Nathan Hale.
Never heard of him.
Okay. I'm going to give you a 30-year window on this, or 30 plus or minus 30. I'm giving you a 61-year window.
Yep.
In what was to be the last executions during the Salem witch trials, 8 people were hanged. On this date, in what year, give or take 30 years?
1640.
God. 1692.
Got it.
You did not get it. Bob Marley. Now listen carefully. He gave his last concert, a sold-out show in Pittsburgh, and then he died of cancer the following year. So we are asking for the date of his last concert a year before he died, give or take 3 years.
1983.
I knew it. Perfect. 1980. We did it.
Damn it. I got skunked.
And here's one leading us to the obituary. The American film Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid had its world premiere and instantly became a Western classic. What year did Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid come out, give or take 4 years?
1970.
Very good. Stay there. Don't say another numeral. 1969.
Nice. You got one right.
No, you got 2 right at the end. All right. What are we doing? We're doing letters to the editor? No.
No, let's
Yeah.
do an obituary.
There's a bunch.
All right, Robert Redford, we should start with. He said, look, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is one of those movies. I waited until my kids were a certain age, and then we made popcorn, turned out the lights, sat down, and I blew their fucking minds. They loved it. And, you know, the problem with kids, they say kids today don't have the attention span for a slow-moving movie, and it's a slow movie. They got completely enthralled.
So did Sophie.
The soundtrack, it was who's the guy who did the soundtrack?
Not Baccarat, right?
Well, no, Bacharach did one of the songs.
Yeah. All right, I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yeah.
Now, what's the guy's name who did it? Anyway, he created the Sundance Film Festival, which, you know, really elevated a lot of indie films in the 90s. He was the guy who, you know, was responsible for...
The soundtrack album is Baccarat.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah, Baccarat.
He got the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He was born in Santa Monica, California, baby.
He had
your
a
town.
big part. He almost single-handedly saved the Santa Monica Pier.
Is that right?
There's so many stories about he and Paul Newman and what solid human beings they were. Like, incredible.
He won 2 Academy Awards. 1981 he started the Sundance. We were in Sundance. Do you remember this? I'm pretty sure you were there. We were skiing up in what city is Sundance?
Park City.
We were in Park City with Dudley and I think Jack and Pete. And I remember us watching South Park for the first time on TV. It had just come out. And we were walking through town after skiing that night, and people were hawking us on the street, asking us to come into movie theaters because there was this new festival going on.
Oh, wow.
And we walked down, and we saw movies every night for like 3 nights. I saw a documentary about the astronauts, the effect of every astronaut that had walked on the moon and had looked at the Earth.
I don't think I was there. I mean, unless
fundamentally reshaped their worldview. Some of them had nervous breakdowns. Some of them started looking for Noah's Ark. All this crazy. Anyway, we were there for the beginning of it. It was crazy. Now you can't get a ticket.
But I mean, I want my daughters to see The Way We Were.
Yeah.
It's one of those movies that it's like, by the time you get to the end and she does that little thing where she moves the hair across his forehead, and you're like, you remember when she did that when they first met. And it's one of those perfect movies where you're like, this was like, it just took you on a journey. Like, it felt years later when they saw each other in front of the plaza in New York, you know, like, and writing that is very hard to do. Incredibly hard to do.
Yeah.
Like, you're seeing them, and like a movie that at the end almost takes you down memory lane from within the 2 hours, and it feels old. Like, that's an achievement if you can do that.
Yeah, and
they're amazing.
The Sting was unbelievable, but he also directed like some of the great Ordinary People. I wouldn't even show that to my kids. That one's so fucking depressing, but it was so, I think it got the Oscar.
He also, it was very close to his heart. He directed A River Runs Through It. I posted that this week.
Yeah.
And those, I mean, and he preserved the eloquence and the poetry of that by he himself reading the VO.
Right.
And he, in a way, Redford is playing the older brother, but truly he really saw Brad Pitt as a younger version. I mean, Brad Pitt looks like Robert Redford in that movie.
Yes. And I mean, Jesus Christ, I say it over and over again, but Brad Pitt is so beautiful. That movie
especially. If you have not seen A River Runs Through It, that's
another one I showed to my kids. My kids loved. There's also The Horse Whisperer, which had the same vibe as A River Runs Through It. He did Bagger Vance. I mean, he was incredible. So
and an environmentalist, an activist, and you know, meanwhile, anytime they talked about him, like, you know, he saved Utah, was going to put in this giant, I don't know if it was nuclear, but whatever it was, he led an environmental cause to prevent this development in Utah, and I should know what it is. And Anyway, he had to be interviewed on 60 Minutes, and he's like, well, an environmentalist was like a bad name at the time. He's like, give it to me. I'll take that name.
Right.
And anyway, when he was asked about, like, he's like, all the good he does, and he's like, well, like, slow down. He's like, have you ever thought about what Paul Newman's doing? He's like, if you ever think about Paul, all you want to do is kill yourself.
Yeah, that's hilarious. All right, let's cheer up. Let's go to the funnies.
Here we go, funnies.
We got last week's comic caption contest. The frame that we gave you was, it's Adam and Eve. Adam's sitting on a rock eating an apple. They're both wearing leaves covering their private parts. She's raking the leaves. There's a snake and an apple tree hanging over Adam's head. Eve is speaking. What we ask you to do is write in the punchline. You send it to fitzdogradio@gmail.com. You put your punchline with your name directly underneath it. The winner gets a koozie mailed to them by only Mike Gibbons is sending these out.
Man, I have a bunch in envelopes right now ready to go out the door.
Good to hear. John W. Said for this caption, he said, enjoy the original sin because it's the last time the woman does the yard work. Brian Rochelle says, I could really use some help with the laundry. Which I heard that and I said, that's a really funny joke. And then there was 6 others that were the same idea. DJ Robbins said, there won't be any mention of the punishment of doing all the laundry. Mike Nestor said, Eve becomes the first woman to nag her husband for having to pick up his dirty laundry. Kenny Ingle said, Jesus fucking Christ, I'm tired of picking up your underwear. Kelly Hatfield said, glad I don't have to deal with crusty socks. Okay. And then we got Shad in Fargo said, you can stick with the tree of knowledge because you're not eating this bush.
Oh, okay.
Flesh Tree said, we're going out for ribs tonight, bitch. Bjorn Leaf said, if you throw that apple core in the yard, I'll break your other ribs. I swear to God. Stephanie Loftus said, are you waiting for one of your other ribs to get up and take out the trash?
All right.
So there was some familiar themes. They were good themes. I mean, sometimes we tell you guys don't go with your first instinct. But in this one, I thought that a lot of people had the same idea, which is why you try to not take that first instinct.
I like Stephanie Loftus's. Are you waiting for one of your other ribs to get up and take out the trash?
I had that down as well. So
I think that's the one.
Stephanie Loftus, congratulations. Honorable mentions to Brian Rochelle. I could really use some help with the laundry because it was the tightest, kind of funniest of that idea.
It's a great drawing. It like lent itself to good comments. Yeah.
Which, by the way, Jason Love does the cartoons for us. Shout out to Jason Love.
Yeah, thank you, Jason.
Next week's comic for you to write your captions for is a man and a woman. She is on her knees in front of a coffee table. Surrounding her are cleaning products, Ajax and sponges, and there's an ironing board with folded clothes on it. She's on her knees and she's snorting a line of Coke and staring at him in surprise as he catches her. He's walking in the door.
It looks like a modern day Adam and Eve in a little bit. There's laundry.
That's right.
All
Continuation of last week. So send in your picks. Let's see what happens. Now let's go to the pros. Hagar the Horrible. We've got the Queen yelling at the King. And she says, Hagar stole my jewelry. You promised the guard dog would prevent that. King says, Bruno is not a guard dog. And then you see the dog pulling Hagar into the house. Hagar's carrying the jewelry. And he goes, he's a retriever. Okay, that's a good idea. You get away scot-free with losing some jewelry. And then you drag the rapist back into the castle while your queen stands there smiling.
Yeah.
All right. Lock horns. They're at a cocktail party. Leroy's talking to a guy. Loretta's talking to a woman. And then he says to the man, whenever Loretta speaks, I have the urge to scroll down.
That's great.
He doesn't like her. And now we've got Leroy's in the Apple store and he's talking to an Apple genius. Wait, I can watch a YouTube video to learn how to download apps? Great. How do I download YouTube?
Yeah, the old catch-22.
And now we've got Loretta is sitting in a chair. Leroy walks in. He's carrying an axe. He goes, do you remember where that tree was I carved our initials in?
I like that. Okay, so I have, before we end on Blondie, I have The Onion. So this week, it was fancy. It's like an Onion magazine cover. It looks like the New York Times magazine with the same font. And it says The Onion magazine. And then it says, there's a big picture of Charlie Kirk, exactly how the New York Times would do it. And it says, Charlie Kirk, not in his own words. And the subtitle says, we honor the right-wing activist by making up quotes that sound much better given the moment.
Wait, I don't
love
get
that.
it. What do you mean?
What?
Who's making up quotes?
No, in other words, like they ran a thing on Charlie Kirk, but all they can find is divisive speech. So to honor him in this moment, they're gonna tweak the quotes to make them sound
got
better.
it. Yeah. Some of the quotes are not good. Not good.
Some?
All right, let's cheer up. Let's get to Blondie.
Let's cheer up.
Dagwood is walking away from Blondie. She's sitting in a chair. He goes, there's nothing to watch on TV tonight, but I have a backup plan. And she turns around over her shoulder and goes, oh? And you think,
I wanted to say,
right.
did you say back up? I'll back up.
That's right. I'll present like I'm a fucking koala in the wild.
With chlamydia.
And now we see this asshole looking in the fridge and coming out with plates of food. Sometimes this is better than watching TV anyway. Girl? All right. So instead of bending over in front of the fridge, you could be bent over in front of that fucking yellow-haired vixen, pounding like a furry koala, pounding your chlamydia into Blondie. She'd take it at this one. She'd take the venereal disease just to get laid once in a while.
Oh, boy.
We did it. Let's give a shout out to Robert Redford, who we will miss. What a man.
Yep.
And also shout out to Comics in Connecticut, September 26th and 27th.
There
We'll
you
see
go.
you there. Anything you want to promote, Mike?
No, I'm rushing off to a stress test. I'm getting on
There
a
you
treadmill.
Don't get stressed. And you're running late, so you'll be all stressed
No,
out
I
when you
am.
get
No,
there.
by the way, the next appointment in Santa Monica was January. So I go, come on. I have a doctor's appointment next week. I'm supposed to have this done. And they're like, well, there's Santa Clarita. I'm like, fine. So I have it in Santa Clarita. Right now, I just checked Waze. Santa Clarita is an hour and 2 minutes right now.
What time are you supposed to be there?
1:30. I forgot but I have to shower. It's and every minute because it's a Friday.
All right,
it's gonna
let's go
up.
then. All right, good luck,
All
Mike.
right. Take it, Ace.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
3, 2, 1. Crinkle, clap. It's Sunday, papers, so get your act together, neighbors, and face the fact. It's Sunday, papers with Greg and Mike. I know what I like. It's Sunday, papers, Greg and